Hi everyone, how are you going? I spoke about this the other day, but as I looked back on it, the audio was all over the place. My voice wasn't synchronized with my mouth, and I thought if I was watching this would actually shit me up the wall. So I thought I'm going to talk about it again and delete the other one and have it here because it's going to be really, really useful to help you to understand why you feel lost, why you feel like you can't be the full expression of yourself, why it is you can't find your purpose, and how we can fix it, right? Because there are a lot of women come to me with that exact thing. They're like, I've done all the right things. I've gone to school, I've gone to uni or not, I found a job or not, honed a career path or not. Like, this is all plus or minus, right? I've got the house, got the car, got the kids or not. But like you've followed the life path that you thought that you should be on, and yet you're still not feeling as though you are the full version of yourself. You still feel like that there's something missing and that you're here for more. And there's a lot of reasons why we feel exactly that. And if you feel that way, you are not alone. So the normal path, right, the path that we should have all been on when we were born into this world, was one of enmeshment, differentiation, independence, then interdependence. So that is the normal 4 steps of how we should have grown up to be our fully expressed self, right? So those 4 stages break down into this, right? So when you're born into a family unit, you are enmeshed in the people who you are born to, right? And the family unit that you are born into. So what enmeshment means is that, you know, your parents' mood affects your state. Everyone's all up in each other's grill. Everyone's in each other's business. There's very little boundaries. All of the boundaries of, you know, your business, everyone else's business, your siblings' business is all very murky because you're all under the one roof, right? So enmeshment is like, oh, mum's in a bad mood, so we all need to tread on eggshells. Like, we need to watch what we say. We better be careful around her, that sort of thing. It's about knowing what each person is thinking and feeling and having that affect you. So that's enmeshment, and that is normal. Like, when you're born into a family unit, that's completely normal for us all to be in each other's business and to be enmeshed in with each other, right? Then as you get older, so you start getting into, like, you know, you know, age 9, 10, 11, 12, and you start to differentiate, right? So you start to realize, I'm a little bit different from my family. I've got some different ideas and opinions about things, and you start to express that. So, and in a normal family unit, that differentiation, that point of difference that you have from your family, should be nurtured and should be encouraged, right? And then from that space of being fully accepted for your opinions, for your beliefs, for the way that you think that things should be, and having that accepted and kind of like, oh, that's interesting, and supported, from that place, you can become your own individual self. So you understand that if you were supported in your different beliefs and opinions as you were growing up, you could, as an adult then, express yourself fully. You could say your opinions, you could state your beliefs, you could be who you wanted to be, and know that you were always going to be fully loved, fully belonging in your family unit no matter what, fully accepted and fully supported in all of those beliefs. And as an individual, then you can start exploring things from that safe place of, like, no matter what I explore, no matter what path I want to take in life, I'm always going to belong. I'm always going to be accepted. I'm always going to be loved. I'm always going to be enough, right? And then from that individual place, you as an individual can then start entering into relationships because, you know, as humans, we are programmed to find a mate, find partners along in life. Then we become interdependent in our relationships. So we join forces with people who have got similar values, similar beliefs, similar opinions. And then in that relationship, it's not two halves becoming a whole, it's two wholes coming together to help each other be the full expression of what they are, because that's what you grew up with, right? So that's the normal way that we should have grown up. And all of this is outlined in Remy Pearson's book, or Sharon Pearson's book, The Ultimate You. This is where I learned this stuff from when I went to the International Coaching Institute for 3 years as a pro coach. So that's the normal way things are meant to go. But very, very rarely do we get this, right? What would not normally happens to most of us is that as we're born into the family unit and we start to get into that period of differentiation, we've got different ideas, different opinions, different beliefs, often that stage is not supported. Usually when you're enmeshed in your family unit, you have got a role that you play, whether it be the good girl, the caretaker, the entertainer, the overachiever, the one that looks after everyone, like the manager, the family manager, the one that looks after people. Like, we find these roles in this family unit, right, which keep us enmeshed in that family unit. And then when we start to go into differentiation and we start to move away from those roles, that usually doesn't go down too well, right? Hello, one person joining me. Like, that doesn't fly in the family unit at all. When you decide that you want to move away from that role, when you decide that you're going to be a little bit different, that doesn't fit into the other family members' version of who they expect you to be. So what happens, we get, hey Brenda, how you going? We get clapped down, right? We get told, no, you can't do that. Oh my God, what are you doing that for? That's friggin' ridiculous. What are you going to try that for? Like, you can't go for that other football team. You can't become a tattoo artist. Like, you can't, yeah, eldest child, definitely. But it happens with all, like, I'm the youngest child, Brenda, and there's still definitely a role that I was expected to fulfill. And yet, you're very right though, every child gets parented differently, even though they would say, oh no, I parented you all the same. It's often not the case, right? So when we go into this differentiation, it's not accepted by the family. And you soon realize that as you branch out and you step a toe outside of what the enmeshed family unit believe you to be, no. You get ridiculed, you get shut down, you get ignored, you get abandoned, you get shut, like that part of you gets shut down. And you soon learn, if I differentiate, if I show the point of difference that I have inside of me, I'm not going to be loved, I'm not going to be accepted, I'm not going to belong in this family unit anymore. And that instills fear in us, because we need our family unit to survive, right? We depend on it for food, for love, for water, for shelter, for survival. And so we learn to shut the different parts of ourselves that we want to show that makes us individual. We learn to shut that down. And oftentimes we can go well into our 40s and still be enmeshed in that family dynamic, in what our parents, our siblings, our grandparents, our family friends, what everyone expects of you. Because we think that to differentiate outside of it, we're not going to be accepted, we're not going to be loved, we're going to be abandoned. And that instills a massive survival fear in us. So a lot of us often stay deeply enmeshed in our family, well into our 40s. Even when you go, you move away from home, you come back together for family gatherings, etc., you still fall back into that role, because that role is safe. You belong, and you're accepted in that role. So that's where a lot of it goes wrong. And this is why we are in our 30s, in our 40s, in our 50s, and we still don't feel like we know who we are, because we've been so busy trying to stay safe in this enmeshed family unit, because to step outside means death, pretty much, right? So this is why, as full-grown adults, we don't know who we are, we don't know where we belong, we don't know what our purpose is, because we've been so conditioned to be what our family unit wanted us to be. So every time we try and step outside of that, it instills fight, flight, freeze, fawn. and we stay stuck in those roles. And that's why we don't know who we are as we grow up. So what actually needs to happen for you to actually go, right, how do I step into my individuality? How do I even know who I am anymore? This is where the work comes into it, right? So when you step outside, when you start to explore your individuality, right, that's going to trigger your self-doubts and your fears of not belonging, not being enough, not being loved, and being judged by other people. So what we need to do is we need to step outside and explore what we believe we would like to explore in our lives, and then pay attention to when we are being triggered into fear, into, oh, if I do this, I won't be enough, I won't belong, right? So Brenda says, yes, another example, if you live far away from family and you return for a vacation or a visit, absolutely. You will find, Brenda, when you do that, you are going to be triggered. Like you're going to say something and they're going to go, what do you want to do that for? That's ridiculous. And that's going to trigger the fear of, uh-oh, they're not going to approve of this. You don't have permission to do this. And so you shrink back into the box that they've tried to put you in. So what needs to happen is you need to explore what it is that you want to do. And then when the triggers come up, and they will come up because you will feel when you ring up mum and dad and go, hey, I just did this the other day. They're like, what on earth did you do that for? You're going to feel the trigger. So it's all about, triggers are going to lead you back to those parts of yourself that needed protection in those times when you were shut down, when you were abandoned, when you were told you were not enough, when you were judged. And you need to reparent yourself in those moments. Give yourself permission to do the things that you want to do. And that thing that you want to do, you might not, you don't have to marry it, you don't have to have its babies, but trying it on and dealing with the fears as they come up. Because when you start exploring who it is that you are, those triggers, that self-doubt, that insecurity, that fear of abandonment is going to come up. So how do you do that? You work with a really good coach, like myself, to figure out where those triggers are, what is the underlying shadow fear that is stopping you from exploring that part of yourself, working through that, digging in deep. What are the beliefs that you have around it? What are you afraid will happen if you explore that part of yourself? Sitting with that and allowing your nervous system to expand around, if this happens, will I be okay? How willing am I to not be accepted, loved, not judged? Yep, reparent yourself. Absolutely, Brenda. How willing am I to be abandoned, to be judged, so I can be the full expression of myself? So that's what needs to happen when you are an adult and you don't know who you are. And there is no set guideline of this is your purpose in life. Human design can definitely help guide you towards a purpose because it's all in your incarnation cross. It's all there. But how you do that is up to you. It's kind of like you have this corridor to walk down, but the way you walk down that corridor is completely up to you. You can sprint down that corridor, you can somersault down that corridor, you can do cartwheels, you can open up every single door along the way. Like, how is free will. How you do it is up to you. So that's really important. Hello, Trisha. Hello, Lisa. How are you going? Good to see you. I hope that you're well, Trisha. I know that you are probably laid up feeling a little bit sore, but every day you're going to get better, sister. Believe me. Just keep that positive mindset. Your body is designed to heal itself, sister. You will get there. Okay? So that's how you do the work, and that's how you become the full expression of yourself, so you can learn what your purpose is and you can learn what lights you up. Really what the purpose of life is to find the thing that lights you up. Life is meant to be full of freedom, joy, and expansion. So you feel creative, you feel curious, you feel lit up. That's the purpose in life. There's no like big serious dun dun dun, this is your purpose. It's about actually enjoying the experience you have of life. But we're often scared to do that because of that enmeshment and we're scared of getting out of that unit because it did mean death. And when it means death, like, that's pretty hard to move away from, right? Especially in those formative years of your life when all of your belief systems are being cemented into your subconscious mind. So these are the things that we work through when you work with a coach. So that's how we do the work together. So if you are looking for your purpose, if you know that you are not being the full expression of who you know you are here to be, if life is not lighting you up, if you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling in a rut, this is the work that needs to be done, okay? And it really does start from the foundation up. We dig up all of those shadow beliefs that you are afraid will happen, and often you don't know what they are until you start diving deep into it. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will run your life and you will call it fate. That's Carl Jung. So it's all about getting into those unconscious beliefs and pulling them out so you've got a clear patch of ground so that you can plant new things into, right? So it's really important that you do this for yourself so you know who you are, so you can start living the life that you know you were here to do. And it's really important for your kids and your grandkids as well. Really important for your kids. This is why I love teaching people their children's human design, because once you understand the vehicle that you have been given to walk through this life with, and once you understand the vehicle that your children have been given to walk through this life with, you can help support them by understanding how their energy works and meeting them halfway. Like, knowing how my kids' human design runs has been hugely beneficial in the way that I parent them. So understanding those 4 steps, the enmeshment, the differentiation, the individuality, and then the independence and interdependence, knowing those 4 stages, knowing you can support your kids in those 4 stages, giving them the support that we never got because we were always shamed, shunned, abandoned when we expressed our differentiation. When your kids and your grandkids start saying, I might go for Richmond instead of Geelong, you can support them in that. That's obviously where they want to go. That's exploring their own individuality. When they are supported in exploring who they want to be, they know they're not going to be abandoned. They know they're not going to be shut down. They know that they're always going to be loved and accepted no matter who and what they're being. And then they can explore the world with reckless abandon, become who it is that they are here to be, which isn't that what we want for our kids, right? We don't want them to be carbon copies of us. We want them to be better and have better than what we ever did. So that's why knowing those 4 stages and supporting them, especially in that differentiation role, allowing them to explore and be who it is that they want to be as they're growing up, is going to allow them to be strong, capable, resilient individuals. They're always going to know that no matter what they do and no matter how they're being, obviously if they're not, breaking laws and things, they always know that they're going to be loved and accepted no matter what. They can explore this world and all of the wonders and opportunities that it gives kids in this world, and it's going to allow them to be the full expression of who they are. But it's not too late for you either. You doing this work for yourself, you are going to be setting the example. You're going to learn how to deal with the triggers that come up for you when your kids want to differentiate, because those triggers will come up. When those kids step outside of that role, something in you is going to get triggered. Nothing is going to trigger you like your kids and your grandkids, because you're going to think, I never got away with that. Oh, that's not cool. Oh, that goes against my beliefs. And you're going to get triggered. You're going to get triggered. But it's about learning how to deal with that and support them in them exploring their world. So, and that's really the end game of what this human experience is all about. It's all about finding out who you are and what it is you want to explore in this lifetime. That's what our souls, our spirits came here for, was to explore with reckless abandon. But often many of us don't do it because we're scared of what that means for everyone else around us. If I try this, I'm going to be abandoned, I'm going to be mocked, I'm going to be shamed, I'm going to be laughed at, I'm going to be ridiculed, I'm going to be humiliated, I'm not going to be accepted. So that's the work we need to do. We need to go back to that time when we tried to differentiate and we were shut down, shunned, abandoned, move through that, reparent yourself, find the parts in yourself that are protecting you from that abandonment, from that ridicule, from that shutdown. Move through it so then you can get into differentiation, then you can get into individuality, and then you can have really awesome, strong relationships from a place of, this is who I am. Are you coming along for the ride with me? Are you going to support me in this? And growing together as people who you decide you want to have around you, whether it be a romantic partner, friends, colleagues, work people, whoever. But you will know that you are strong, you are independent, and you know that you will be accepted no matter what. So that is what doing the work is all about, and that's why it's so important. So if this is something that you want to dive into, if you are finding that, your kids, your grandkids are triggering you, you're snapping at them, you're shutting them down, and you're thinking, this is not the parent or the grandparent I want to be. I want to find out who I am. I feel shut down. I feel not fully expressed. And you're shutting it down in your kids and your grandkids without realizing it, by snapping at them, by being triggered by them. So if you want the best for yourself, to be the example for your kids and for your grandkids, this is the work that needs to be done, and this is the work that I do. So I currently have got the Power, Purpose and Potholes program that's going to be rerunning again in January. But if you want to do some one-on-one work around this, if you're finding you're being triggered, if you're finding you're being snappy, if you're finding that you're feeling lost, stuck, don't know what's next for you, why similar patterns keep on showing up over and over again, why the same types of people come into your life over and over again, why you keep getting fired from the same job, why you keep on attracting the same sort of people, all this, it all begins with you. So it's about validating where you're at, taking responsibility for where you're at, and it's not blaming you for where you're at. It's like accepting that this is where you're at. It doesn't matter how you got to where you are. It's what you do moving forward that counts. So it's about finding all of those limiting beliefs and all that stuff that we've got hiding in our shadows, bringing it up to the surface, clearing it out so you can be the best and fully expressed version of yourself that you can possibly be, so you can explore everything that this earth experience has to offer. Okay? It all starts with us, 100%. So if you want to do this work, and if you want to do it with me, I would love to help you. This is what I do. This is what I live for. Men live lives of quiet desperation and go to their graves with their songs still in them. That quote to me breaks my heart, and I want to break that cycle. But it starts with individuals who have done the work and are putting it back out there. Okay? So it starts with you guys. So I would love to support you in this. If this is something you want to do, hit me up. I will put my link to have a call or to fill out an application form to work with me. It's just a simple, where are you at, what's the current problems, and how can I help you? And yeah, let's do this. Let's do this work, because this really is the work that counts. And when you do the work within you, it goes out to the next 5 people that you're out, and then they do the work, and then it goes out to the next 5, and it just, that's how the world gets better, with one person deciding to be a better version of themselves and to be their fully expressed version of themselves. Okay, so if this has rung your bell, blown your hair back, floated your boat, whatever it is, hit me up. I would love to do this work with you. Okay, so that is my I don't think that was 5 minutes, just quietly. But if this is the work that you are interested in, please let me know. I would love to do it with you. Okay, I will put all my details in the comments. Much love to you all. Okay, bye.